Hi, it's Colin Coward. I started The Volume to bring you some of the most authentic voices in sports. While you're here, make sure you hit subscribe. Thanks.
Let's get into the quarterback drama around the league. And let's start with Kyler Murray. You know, I'm not the biggest Kyler Murray fan. I'm out. I said I was out the second stretch, the second half of the season. I didn't even need to see the playoff game. Cliff Kingsbury, never been a huge fan. I fundamentally, philosophically don't agree with the offense. Good guy, don't love his football philosophy. Well, yesterday, Chris Mortensen had a tweet that blew me away because he's a journalist. He's a big J, as they call it in this modern day times. And these guys abide by certain rules. They don't just throw, like, I'm nothing. I get offended when people call me a media member. I can say whatever I want. I follow zero rules. I do whatever the fuck I want just because I'm here to entertain. I'm here to just give you my opinions. It doesn't matter. I might be right. I might be wrong. Who knows? But guys like Chris Mortensen, they follow a code. And that code is they don't tweet something like this unless it comes from a high-level source. And Chris Mortensen yesterday tweeted that Murray is described as a self-centered, immature finger pointer. Those are the type things that I say, not a guy like that. When he said that, I was like, holy shit. Well, the moment he says that, it got me thinking, who would want that out there? And who would have the juice to tell Chris Mortensen that information and then get him to tweet it? If I'm just a random player on the Cardinals and I DM Chris Mortensen and I tell him this, Chris Mortensen's probably not tweeting it. I would argue there are probably three men that could give Chris Mortensen this information and he would put it out. The owner, the coach, or the general manager. And I'd say the coach kind of in a tough spot because he needs Kyler Murray. They are represented by the same guy. I don't know if it would behoove Cliff Kingsbury to do this because all of a sudden, I was thinking about like all the high-level guys in the league, and the league is full of high-level guys, and I'm glad. Because if the league was full of Kyler Murrays, I don't think I could do this. This reminds me of the National Basketball Association. It'd be like 10 Ben Simmons. And that's when I look at Kyler Murray, I see a Ben Simmons type. I see an individual that's in a team sport and playing the most important position, and it's why the Cardinals are having a lot of issues. Now, he is an elite talent, so you're trying to balance how much you deal with it, but his issues are now well documented. They're not even arguable. But to me, Kyler Murray, like you throw this out there, all of a sudden Kyler Murray's not going to, walk in to the mirror the next day and look at himself and go, I need a little introspection. I need to be a better guy. Because they really want Kyler Murray to be a better leader. Well, this ain't going to work. This is only, when you're a self-centered egomaniac, kind of a questionable human, this makes it worse. You're going to get angry. We all know those type people. When you get aggressive with them, they get worse. It ain't going to change. Kyler Murray is what he is. Think about the leaders in the NFL. Joe Burrow hit the ground running. Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Every single one of these guys, we're checking all these boxes. Their rookie year, people are like, love the guy. Great leader. Awesome. We're so lucky to have him. Stud. Baller. We love, every guy on the team loves him. This is the type guy that you need to build around. Yet this guy, Larry Fitzgerald, was like, I'm out. I can't even deal with this. I go to the owner because when you think about Michael Bidwell, think about the two best quarterbacks since he's taken over that he's been around. Kurt Warner and Carson Palmer. So he's seen guys that they've paid a premium that have led them to the Super Bowl. I guess Carson led them to the NFC Championship. But really far in the playoffs, right? They came within a Big Ben throw to Santonio Holmes of winning a ring with Kurt Warner. And then I guess they got stomped by the Carolina Panthers. I remember because I bet on the Arizona Cardinals in that game. But Michael Bidwell has seen two stud quarterbacks that are high-level guys. So he knows what it looks like. I could see Michael Bidwell kind of being pissed off in the sense that he knows he's kind of stuck. He's Cliff Kingsbury's his coach. Kyler Murray's his quarterback. They're kind of tied at the hip. You can't have one without the other. But you're pissed off. You want to vent out. So you tell Chris Mortensen, this is crushing the guy. It would not make sense for Steve Keim to put this out because ultimately, what good's it going to do? Albert Breer wrote today that one issue the Cardinals have with him is he's not really a first in, last out type guy. You know the stories that were coming out about Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp this week? They met like twice a week at 6 a.m. during the season. Like, that's what they were doing. That's the competition you have, Kyler. And Kyler's like, well, baseball, we just show up, we eat a peanut butter sandwich, we take some BP, and we go play games. This is the National Football League. And ultimately, now we're talking about paying a guy $150 million guaranteed. There is under no circumstances would I pay this guy. And two, I'm in no rush to do anything. And I say that all the time. I said that last year about Lamar Jackson. Just pick up his fifth-year option and just let it play out. And if we're going to – I hate, and I repeat, I hate dealing with drama when you aren't an elite player. There are two guys in this league at quarterback that cause their franchises just some lost sleep and pulling their hair out and piss them off. But they're good enough. They're both probably the two best players in the history of the franchise, Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. And I wouldn't put either one of those guys in the Kyler realm of being lazy or whatever, because that's kind of the knock on Kyler right now. Self-centered, finger pointer who's lazy. That's not the knock on Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, but they just create some drama. So now I got a guy who's not getting it done, and the word on him is he's lazy, and he's a finger pointer, and he's my quarterback. The Cardinals are fucked. That just period, point blank, end of story. I don't know what they do. They ride it out another year. They may make the playoffs. They may not. And then he'll have to blow it up, And to me, once your quarterback is labeled as not being a leader and not being a guy that other people want to spend time with, like the whole league's out on the guy. Like that's just something that is just a non-starter for anyone worth their salt that is in the business of football. I say it all the time. What Mitch Morse said, the center for the Buffalo Bills, going into the Bills-Chiefs game, the attribute that those two guys had in common, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, the number one thing he said, they're both approachable. Ultimately, what he was saying is people like him. People don't like this guy. When they don't like your quarterback, you're screwed. Hell, Jimmy Garoppolo isn't half as good as this guy in terms of talent. Yet everyone liked Jimmy G. Everyone, from Trent Williams to George Kittle to Kyle Shanahan, they just like him. There's something to be said about just being liked. Chris Mortensen said it all. Big J absolutely destroying Kyler Murray. To me, I don't see how this doesn't come from the owner. And honestly, if I was Michael Bidwell, I probably would be blasting him too, because I know there's nothing I can do. I'm not going to trade him this offseason. Who's going to play quarterback for me? I can't really fire my coach at this point. I'm just kind of in bed with these two guys. Hope they can figure it out. But usually, a leopard doesn't change its spots. Not at 23, 24, 25 years old. You can mature a little bit, but at this point, come on. If you're not out on this guy, I don't know what to tell you. Thanks for watching 3 and Out. You can check out the podcast below in the description, and make sure you subscribe right now to the Volumes YouTube channel.